Good afternoon, or should I say good morning? Welcome to the Council's podcast on the last Monday of March, how this year has flown. And today I'm really pleased and delighted to welcome a lovely lady named Anna. Anna, say hello.
Hi, hello.
And to remind you, the Council's podcast is a space where we speak about life, real issues and challenges that we may be going through, with a view to share our stories to offer hope and encouragement to all those who need it. And Anna here is about to do the same today, and Anna has an amazing story. But first of all, Anna, tell us about you. So where do you live? What do you do? Family?
Okay, so yes, my name's Anna Tunes. I live here in Mallorca in Calvia, and I have two young children, Ethan, who's 9, and Isla, who's just turned 6.
6 going on 21.
6 going on 21, yeah, definitely. And Duncan, my partner. So yes, yeah, I used to work in a school here teaching, but obviously due to things that have happened over the last 18 months, I've stepped away from that for now. So yes.
Okay. And if people saw you walking down the streets or see you now, they probably wouldn't tell what's really going on behind closed doors in terms of your mind, your heart, your life.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've always been somebody who, well, I hope has had a smile on my face. And yeah, even with everything that's gone on sort of over the last 18 months, I still seem to do this smiling and you know, put on a brave face, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, some people would know my situation and others would be completely oblivious to it.
Well, you've hinted there already 18 months ago where your life or life of your family took a dramatic change.
Yeah.
Are you able to share more?
Yeah, so my partner, my husband, Duncan, was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumour. So one day he was playing football and he had a seizure completely out of the blue. There was no other symptoms or signs other than his behaviour, which I noticed. But other than that, nothing at all. And we were all blissfully unaware. He was playing football one day and he had a seizure, grand mal seizure, was taken to the hospital. They did a scan and found this lesion on his brain, which at first they thought it was epilepsy. Turned out that actually, no, it was an inoperable brain tumour, which was large, 9 centimetres.
9 centimetres.
Yeah, it's shaped rather like a octopus with tentacles, which is why it was deemed inoperable. So yes, that was 18 months ago. So yeah, we've gone through the standard radiotherapy, chemotherapy, hit a big bump in the road about a year ago where he was very, very poorly. He had a large liquid swell on the brain as well as the tumour. So it was touch and go for 24, 48 hours. But by some miracle, he pulled through and we're here a year later. He's currently been undergoing, just for the last year, treatment to stop the tumour from gaining a blood supply.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are now waiting for the next step. We think potentially now he's ready for some more chemo. There's been some changes in the last scan. So yeah, that's where we're at now.
And for those people who don't know Duncan, how do you describe him before? I mean,
oh gosh.
In terms of his fitness level, his personality.
Yeah.
I said it came as a complete surprise the very morning.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan is very strong-willed, strong-minded, very stubborn, but very, very fit and active, playing football, scuba diving. I mean, actually 2 days before he had the seizure, he went scuba diving, which is probably why he had the seizure.
Okay.
But yeah, huge, you know, we live a very active life. He does certainly. I mean, he'll say I don't really do very much exercise, but he plays lots of football, paddle, you know. I mean, even now, even this last sort of 12 months, he's been swimming in the sea most days, doing the cold water therapy, playing football twice a week, paddle sporadically. But yeah, he just completely normal. Even people now who see him now are like, he looks completely normal. And yeah, very, very fit, very, very strong. And yeah, just boom, completely out of the blue. Just, yeah, one day life changed, you know, forever. So yeah.
And Anna, often I was saying to you before that the partners don't get ignored, but we underestimate how much the partners go through.
Yeah.
If you can summarize how it's been
Wow.
for you.
It's been, well, as I said, life-changing. I mean, Duncan and I had actually split before he was diagnosed. Potentially, well, probably now, because his behavior had changed so much that it affected our marriage.
Yeah.
And I just had enough, really. It's as simple as that. But obviously now looking back, it was probably the tumour that was obviously causing these changes to his behaviour. But we'd been separated for about 12 months before this happened. And then obviously he had the seizure. Obviously I went to the hospital there straight away. And what came after that was just, I don't know, snowball. I mean, having 2 children together and sharing, we've been together 24 years. So having that sort of love for somebody and that friendship, and sharing 2 children, obviously everything that was going on or had happened, just faded away. And literally the focus was, okay, we get through this and we deal with it together. So yeah, it's been completely life-changing in that it opened your eyes, really, I guess somebody who is diagnosed with cancer, for them is obviously completely life-changing and mind-blowing. But as a family relative, as a relative or friend or, partner, you're taking on that, knowing that this person who you love and care for has obviously, is going to be going through this, but you yourself as a family have also got to go through it with them. So certainly when you've got children involved, it's tough. It's hard because you're trying to stay strong and stay focused, on being a mum or whatever, whoever the person is, but maintaining that role, as well as being there for that person and supporting them or caring for them, going through what they're going through, but also trying to look after yourself at the same time. So it's challenging, it's hard, it's a struggle, but I don't know what it is, whether this is how, it's where we're just built or something takes over and you just seem to power through and go day by day, week by week, month by month, and just seem to take on the challenges of daily life normally as being a mum or a parent, as well as this on top. So yeah.
And I know through working with you, you've got great family support
Yeah.
and a great friendship network around you, which obviously clearly helps.
Yeah.
And I guess some of the difficulties which probably people feel unsafe to share openly is, what do you treat as, okay, this is the illness? Or what do you say, okay, this is normal behavior? And when can you be upset? And when can't I be upset? When is it, okay, I need to be sensitive? Or that, no, I can have a go.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
It is, definitely. I mean, certainly in the beginning, I think especially having somebody with a brain tumor, it's not just so much the cancer and what's affecting them emotionally and mentally, but also that the cancer is in the brain, which is obviously going to alter that person's behavior. And in the beginning, I kind of was like, oh, it's okay. You can say whatever you need to say or do, behave however you want, because it's the tumor and that's what it is. And then obviously over time, then you're thinking, well, okay, hang on a minute, is it? Or is it just that person, is it them responding to their emotions? Is it them because of the tumour being there? Is it then because that's who they are and that's their personality? And certainly for Duncan and I, you know, it's no secret, we were in a really bad place for a long time in our marriage, because obviously, you know, it was hard. It was really hard. And finding that balance then of taking the slack, taking the strain, taking the hits emotionally, you know, of what this person who you love and care for is throwing at you, and trying to find that sympathy and, you know, understanding, but also trying to find that, well, hang on a minute, I'm not your punching bag, you know, I have my own feelings and my own emotions, and finding that level, it's hard, it's tricky, you know. And I think that's probably goes for anybody, you know, and also, you know, friends and family, it's the same, you know, if you know, that person, Duncan, say for now is, you know, may say something to somebody in the family, the kids, parents, whoever, or even friends, you know, for them as well, you've got to think, oh, okay, is that him or is that not him? You know, it's tricky at times.
And same side, the other side of the coin, I should say, and because I know Duncan, when he does show those acts of kindness, do you have those same thoughts? Is this Duncan? Is this?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, one point randomly, he bought me some flowers like a few weeks ago, and I remember saying to you, wow, you know, but actually sometimes those things then mean more, I guess, because, you know, it's like, wow, okay, that's completely surprising and out of the blue. And I like to think that's him, not the tumour that's done that. But yeah, it is, yeah, completely.
And tell us more, Anna, about the recent event that you're funding for.
So yes, as I said before, Duncan's tumour has remained stable for the last 10 months, which has been phenomenal. But now they've said potentially there could be some changes happening to the tumour. So I've been doing my own research into what we can do externally, obviously alongside him having chemo potentially now. And I've come across a treatment or a therapy, like an immunotherapy, which is D-cell therapy, dendritic cells, which is basically the lady actually explained it to me in a really good, simple way. Our bodies have these cells, these D cells, which are like the general of an army. And what they do is they extract your blood, and from that blood, they take those cells, like the general of the army. They also find the markers of the cancer within your blood, and they tell these cells to fight the cancer. So they make this vaccine, I guess, for want of a better word, and inject it back into the body. And it gives your immune system that boost to basically be heightened to its best possible level to then go in internally and fight the cancer. But obviously, these things come at a cost. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of stuff at the moment, certainly with brain tumours, is so underfunded. Like brain tumour research receives like 1% of funding, which is it's just devastating, because, you know, knowing that brain tumours ultimately are the biggest killer in children and young adults, it seems, you know, just completely just alien to me why it's so underfunded. But it is, and there are changes being made, and there's lots of research currently going on that I'm aware of, but unfortunately is either in the first, second, or third stage of clinical trials, and it's years away from obviously being completed. So for us right now, we would need to pay for this privately. So it comes with a hefty price tag of approximately 40,000 euros. So I sort of took it upon myself to fundraise because I think it's worth a try. I think being that Duncan is so strong in his body, he's in a really good place, even right now. He's strong, he wants to fight, he's ready to fight, his body has been fighting, but I think this might be something that potentially will, be a lifeline for him. So yes, so I've done a GoFundMe page and wow, it's been
it definitely is a wow. So you publicised it when?
Gosh, I think it was, when was it? Wednesday last week? Maybe, less than a week
before
ago.
Wednesday.
No, Thursday, maybe even Thursday. Just woke up in the morning. I'd looked into it, obviously, I'd researched into it. But the thing is, again, for those who know Duncan will know this wouldn't sit well with him. We've spoken before about fundraisers for, other things that we've been doing, holistic treatments that he's had in the past. And he, I've sort of said, people want to help. That's one thing that I've found over these last 18 months is the will for people and the want for people to just say, please let us help you. And there's nothing really that they can do. It's out of our hands. But I've said this to him, I was like, people want to help, they want to do their bit, but he was always like, absolutely not. We are never doing a fundraiser. We are never doing a GoFundMe. And until now, we've not needed it. So, which is fine. But I kind of thought, you know what? It feels right. I feel that there's a lot of hope with this treatment. There's a lot of positive outcomes and stories that I think it's, it was worth the go and worth the hassle that I would get from him. I basically woke up one morning, did a quick little story, and just put it out there, and then sort of said to him, hey, I've, about to go live with this. Do you want to read it? And he was like, nope. Okay, fine. Hit the share button.
How are you feeling when you hit the share button?
Oh gosh, nervous, really nervous. For me as well. I mean, nobody likes to ask for help. Nobody really wants to ask, especially when it's money. It's a big thing, for somebody, pride, you don't want to, but it also, on the flip side, I think this is why I felt the need to do it. We have 2 young children, we have a mortgage, we have, I have my kids' lives to think about their future.
Of course.
And putting this money in and doing it like this, as I say, for people to just give a tiny amount, it doesn't matter how little it is. We know so many people, and he's so loved, I'm loved, the kids loved. We know that people want to help. So, I just thought, even if it gives a fraction of it, it's something, and it's less of a hit for me, for us as a family to take. So, but wow, nothing really prepared me for what would come in that first sort of 24 hours. It was just insane.
In terms of the response, I believe the right word may be overwhelming in a positive way.
Completely. Completely overwhelming. I mean, there were people that knew what we were going through, but there was also people that didn't. Duncan sort of wanted to keep it very private, which was completely up to him and his choice, but a lot of people that had absolutely no idea what we were going through. So to receive, it was a bittersweet, really, because, we had this overwhelming response of love and support and donations and this generosity. But also we had this wave of, oh my goodness, like, I'm so sorry, and to take that, we did all this in the beginning, you almost do your grieving way back then, because you take that news, and it's heart-wrenching, and it's scary, and you sort of go through that process then of, wow, okay, we've got to deal with this, and the uncertainty, and as I say, the fear, but then I think life takes over and we move on and we've lived with it. But obviously these people that didn't know then have that same response that we had back then. you know, and it's emotional then, I guess, to pull that all back up again. But Duncan has not wavered from, you know, day one. He's like, I'm absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with me. He is determined, you know, I'm going to fight this. I'm fine. So, you know, that strength that he has is just incredible, you know. So yeah, it's been completely emotional, overwhelming in a beautiful way as well, because it just shows how much love there is for, you know, for him, and how much people want to help and support, and not only that, the messages, you know, you get that, and whether we read them now or read them when we're ready, you know, it's just, yeah, it's warming. It's, yeah.
And you mentioned love, support, and donation. You said we're feeling the love. Does Duncan know how much he's loved?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, he's not very soppy, and you know, I hope he does, and I'm sure deep down, yes, he does. Even if he doesn't show it, you know, he still has this bravado of, you know, I'm absolutely fine, and you know, but I don't, you know, how can he not, you know, to be raised? I mean, I think I looked this morning and the page is at like 28,000.
And the target is
40.
So
Yeah. It's, you know,
already 12,000 shy on
yeah, and we've had people like personally as well, like privately giving a bit here and there extra, you know, which is, we are literally so close to, you know, and it's not even been a week, which is
Monday.
Yeah, it's just, it's mind-blowing. It literally is. And even, you know, I kind of thought, like, the first day I was like, okay, you know, the first time you sort of put it out there, you get that response because everyone's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And, you know, but it's not even sort of declined. Every day seems to have been a constant amount, just keeps coming. It just keeps going. And, you know, to wake up in the morning and sort of be like, okay, so, and then be like, oh my God, like, how is, you know, it's like another 10 grand. It's like, you know, in 24 hours, it's just insane. Yeah, but it's gratefully received, and you know, we just hope and pray that it, you know, it works, and it's, you know, it does what we're hoping it will, and that everybody can be a part of this incredible journey. So yeah.
And as well as the love, the support which people are showing through donations and kind words, underneath it all, there's a belief. Because you still need to make an educated decision. And if people didn't believe, they wouldn't be departed and say, oh, I'm really sorry to hear. But the fact people are physically taking out and put money into it, there's got to be a belief there that this can work.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. You know, for me as well, I mean, when I looked into it, you know, I was like, okay, is this gonna, you know, is this just money making? Is it, you know, am I looking for hope of something that, you know, but actually, no, you know, I think if it's looking at also how he's responded. And I think this is the thing, because obviously uniquely this immunotherapy, which is what it is purely for that person. You know, it's based on their cells, their cancer. You know, I just think because he's been so strong and so defiant, and so, you know, it's just amazing that I think, how can it not work? Because it's him. It's him. And, you know, his mind is so completely positive and focused, that I think that's half the battle sometimes. So to add these extra things in, and if he has to have chemo, okay, so be it. It has the chemo alongside this immunotherapy. Yeah, I think, you know, going at it all guns blazing is the best thing. So yeah.
And this is where Duncan's characteristics have really come into the fore, because, as you know, Duncan will not be swayed regards to something that his mind is set. It's set.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And in a situation such as this, it needs to be so set. There's no room for doubt.
No, absolutely. I think he's I mean, he'll probably kill me for saying it, but he is terrified of needles, which is insane considering what he's been through the last 18 months and, you know, having his head cut open and various things, but still, you know, a vaccine or he's like, oh, I don't know, you know. But yeah, that seems to be his biggest thing that he's focusing on overcoming. But yeah, bless him. He'll be fine. He'll do it, I'm sure. Yeah.
And we can't complete this interview without mentioning the second love of his life, Liverpool.
Yes. Yes, it's definitely a love of his life. Yes, obsession. Yeah. Yes, he is a massive Liverpool, as you are, Gary. A massive Liverpool fan. So yeah, that keeps him going, definitely. So yeah, huge fan.
So what would you say, Anna, to see there's lots of people out there, unfortunately, similar situation to yourself.
Yeah.
And as we know, the journey's not easy. Regardless, I mean, it helps having support, but you've still got to do it day in, day out.
Yeah.
Somebody listening to this who haven't reached out or haven't got the quiet support as you, how would you encourage them?
Oh my gosh, like this is the thing. People will maybe look at this and think, oh, you know, because I'm laughing and smiling and, you know, I've not been in floods of tears, that they will think, wow, you know, it looks fine. It really isn't, you know, it's really hard. And having people like you to talk to, this is where I get emotional, is part of the process. You know, I having somebody to talk to, somebody to reach out to, whether that is a counsellor, you know, therapist, doctor, friend, it takes off the burden, I guess. It gives you it just gives you a sense of clarity sometimes. I mean, there's times I've said to you before, you know, I'll happily drive up here and just like, wow, you know, I'm okay. Don't know what really we're going to talk about this week. And then, you know, you sit down and talk and open up, and actually you come out thinking, wow, okay, I really did need that. I needed to, you know, offload or be emotional or laugh or cry, whatever. I would say, please don't sit at home or with your partner or with whoever it is, whoever you're supporting, or whether, you know, from a supporting point of view, and think that you don't have options to reach out, because it's so important. I genuinely don't think I would be as strong as I am now if I didn't have my friends around me, my family, you, being there for me. So that you guys being there for me lifts me up to be there for him and for my kids, which is just incredible. So I would say don't even give it a second thought, you know, just reach out, because people want to help. You know, there are so many options and avenues and things, you know, just anybody just to talk, you know, and even if you're writing things down or just to get it out of your head, you know, something just to clear the space to be able to take a breath and deal with what's coming next. So yeah.
And also, I know you've implied it, because thank you for your kind words towards me. But the true credit should go to Cancer Support Mallorca.
Yeah.
And what the services they offer, the heart and the different, as you said, just that alone, the safe space whereby they can help with this practically, an accounting perspective, or just coming alongside them. It's so important.
Absolutely. I mean, I wasn't really aware of Cancer Support Mallorca, obviously, until this happened. And, you know, you hear things on the radio and you hear, you know, like fundraisers, but actually, I think unless you really experience cancer, whether that is firsthand or, you know, caring for somebody with cancer or knowing somebody even with cancer, it kind of is just one of those things that sort of is like, oh yeah, that's there, and, you know, okay. But wow, you know, yes, having, you know, a charity and people like that here is just, it's so needed, you know, for everything and anything, you know, small things, you know, getting a lift to the hospital, or like you say, yeah, anything, you know,
translator,
anything, just and not only that, just feeling as though you've got somebody that you can actually go to that will have an idea of what is going on. Nutritionist. I remember when Duncan was first diagnosed, and I always, thought that we were relatively healthy in what we were eating. And through the charity, we were able to speak to a nutritionist who was incredible, and just to sit down and go through things and sort of say, okay, well, then you've got this and this and this. And it's changed our world. It's changed our diet. I now, prepare more things than I've ever prepared before. We, don't buy things that we used to buy that I thought were healthy. Little things like that, not just for Duncan's sake, but for my sake, but also for the kids. Because, unknowingly, feeding your family, thinking that you're doing the right thing, and actually just looking into things a little bit further and think, okay, maybe we could change that and tweak that. And, so it's not just all about, just the cancer, sort of thing. It's everything. It's well-being. It's just the general well-being of somebody who has cancer, who's going through it, battling it, but also, people around them, family, and I'm so grateful. It's incredible. They're incredible. You're incredible.
And talking about cancer support to Mallorca, we know that there's a small football match coming up after Easter on April the 14th, Sunday, in the afternoon. And you've been instrumental in getting awareness out there, people contributing to the raffle prize.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a natural fundraiser.
Well, try. It's been incredible. We've had so many people wanting to, again, I think because of the personal link as well. It's hard, I guess, for people, I'm fortunate that I have so many friends, I am amazed by the amount of, people that we have here who are so strong, independent in that they have their own businesses and, wanting to help and share. And it's amazing. People are amazing. And the amount of response that we've had for raffle prizes has been brilliant. People who want to help, so getting ready for that match. So, well, you need to get ready more than I do. So you're playing. So
and
get your boots on.
The chances of Duncan being there are very remote, because there's also another big game, Manchester United against Liverpool. He will not be there.
Yes. It's safe to say, he will be there in spirit.
Yes,
definitely. But as we've said before, Liverpool is his ultimate. So I will be there, and the kids. It's going to be a brilliant day. I think family fun day, and all for a good cause. So what's not to love. So.
And the theme or the mantra, which I believe will be ongoing, is we need each other. And the whole purpose of it is really the community coming together. And as you said earlier, Anna, people can sit there and think, well, you look all together, you're fine. And I go, oh,
you scratch that little surface.
We've been there, we've seen the tears, we've seen the heartache, but you're not on your own. And I think no matter what life's going to throw challenges at us, but it's so much more encouraging when there's people around us, even just one person to say, I've got you, or we've got you.
Absolutely.
So really the message is for anybody who's touched by this, who's experiencing cancer directly, or a friend, or loved one, or a friend, please don't do this on your own. There's no need. Cancer support is out there to help you. As Anna said, reach out to a friend or a therapist or a counsellor, but please, life is hard as on its own, being on your own as it is. Please don't make it any harder. And really just want to thank Anna for your bravery.
Thank you.
And you said that Duncan, we know about Duncan, his strength and his mindset, whereby single-minded, I'll beat this. And you show your strength in a different way. You're the one that needs to do with the day-to-day, make life as normal as possible, as well as being aware that, you need to make sure everything else is okay as well. And that takes a different type of strength. And I remember seeing you guys picking up the children from school and saying, what a beautiful family you are. And you are a beautiful family, and really do hope and pray that every support you guys need along the way of the journey will be met.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on the Counsellors podcast.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And if any of you have been touched by that and want further information, please reach out to the Gap Counselling. We could be found on the normal sites, the Facebook, Instagram, or the website direct. Also, we mentioned Can Sports Mallorca, and they too could be found on Facebook, Instagram, and their website also. The forthcoming football match is on April the 14th, a Sunday afternoon. It's a family event, so please reach out, come out to Sonfrere Football Club, and all the detail will be posted on the usual site. But most importantly, please encourage this lovely family. If you haven't donated, please donate. If you're unable to donate, please offer them your thoughts, your prayers and encouragement, and together we will do this.